Some of today's science fiction becomes tomorrow's science. So neurology especially is full of these shocking paradoxes. So the three things: one is discovering a paradox, or an amazing phenomenon. Secondly, showing under rigorous conditions that it's real, it's not an artifact. Once you've shown that, to find an explanation, why does it happen, in terms of what's already known.
V.S. Ramachandran, Rama, is one of the biggest champions of mirror neurons, and he's argued they're key to what makes us human, including language. Here's how he connects the dots. Mirror neurons as the basis of civilization. Ramachandran has called mirror neurons the basis of civilization, and even said they're to neuroscience what DNA was to biology. He pushes back hard on the idea that their importance is exaggerated. I don't think they're being exaggerated, I think they're being played down, actually. Mirror neurons were first found in monkey premotor cortex F5. They fire both when the monkey performs an action and when it watches someone else do the same action. In humans, we see a broader mirror system rather than single cells, but the principle is similar. Ramachandran's link to language evolution. Ramachandran's core argument is that mirror neurons provided the neural scaffolding for language in three ways, from gesture to speech. The idea is that mirror neurons originally evolved for sensory motor mapping, understanding others' actions by internally simulating them. That same circuit got exapted or repurposed for communication. First came gestural language. You see me grasp, your mirror system simulates it, you get my intention. Vocal language then piggybacked on this existing system. This matches what you see in social posts too, the claim that language originated from mirror neuron activity, starting as gestural idioms before vocal forms. Embodied simulation and meaning. For Ramachandran and collaborators like Vittorio Gallese, language isn't just abstract symbols. Meaning is grounded in action. When you hear kick, parts of your motor cortex for leg movement light up. Mirror neurons plus embodied simulation let us literally feel what words refer to, giving language its social, experiential punch. This is the neural exploitation hypothesis. Brain mechanisms for action were later exploited for thought and language. Metaphor, abstraction, and culture. In The Telltale Brain and his lectures, Ramachandran ties mirror neurons to uniquely human traits like metaphor, art, and self-awareness. His logic: once you can map others' actions in your own brain, you can map their intentions and point of view. That's a short hop to symbolism. This stands for that, which is the foundation of language, metaphor, and culture. He's discussed this in the context of synesthesia, intersensory interactions, and mirror neurons. The bigger picture in his work, Ramachandran sees mirror neurons as part of a larger theme. The brain uses maps and simulations to create reality. He's famous for the mirror box for phantom limbs, where visual feedback from a mirror relieves phantom pain. For him, the cerebral self was a hall of mirrors, real and virtual get blurred. Language is another one of those virtual reality tricks the brain plays using mirror systems. Caveats, Ramachandran acknowledges. Even as a champion, he knows the limits. We haven't proven humans have individual mirror neurons like monkeys do. We have a distributed mirror system. And some scientists argue mirror neuron hype has outpaced data. But Rama's take: if anything, we're underestimating them. If you want to go deeper, his book, The Telltale Brain, has a whole section on mirror neurons and culture. His 2012 Gifford lectures covered synesthesia and other types of intersensory interactions, including discoveries of mirror neurons. The French science communicator Samuel Senet also references Ramachandran's book, Le Cerveau fait de l'esprit, when explaining mirror neurons. Want me to pull specific quotes from The Telltale Brain on how he thinks mirror neurons enabled syntax or metaphor? V.S. Ramachandran is one of the most vocal champions of mirror neurons. He famously called them the basis of civilization in his TED Talk and in The Telltale Brain. At the Decade of the Brain lecture, he said, mirror neurons are to neuroscience what DNA was to biology. He argues they're underrated, not exaggerated. What Ramachandran says about mirror neurons plus language? Mirror neurons fire both when an animal acts and when it watches another do the same action. Ramachandran and others link this system to uniquely human skills. Language origins. Rizzolatti and Arbib's language within our grasp hypothesis ties mirror neurons to gesture, speech evolution. Ramachandran expands on this, suggesting the mirror system let early hominids imitate and transmit culture rapidly in the last 100,000 years. Meaning and metaphor. He connects mirror neurons to empathy, lip reading, understanding intentions, gestures, and body language. The broader neural exploitation hypothesis says brain mechanisms that evolved for sensor and motor integration got reused for language and social cognition. Critique. Not everyone agrees. Some argue mirror neuron importance has been exaggerated, and a 2009 review lists 8 problems for the mirror neuron theory of action understanding. The function of mirror systems in humans is still debated. Mirror neurons. The brain anatomy. Dolphins have a very large, highly convoluted brain. The bottlenose dolphin brain is about 1.5 to 1.7 kilograms, larger than a human's, with an encephalization quotient second only to humans. In 2006, Hoff, van der Gucht, and colleagues found spindle neurons, von Economo neurons, in the anterior cingulate, frontoinsular, and frontopolar cortices of several cetacean species, including bottlenose dolphins, humpback whales, fin whales, and orcas. These are the same rare fast-conducting neurons found in humans, great apes, and elephants, all animals with complex social cognition. In primates, spindle neurons overlap with regions containing mirror neurons, and they're hypothesized to support rapid intuitive judgments in social situations, gut feelings about others' intentions. The behavior, the strongest evidence. Because we can't easily record from single dolphin neurons, the behavioral data is key. Deferred imitation. Dolphins can watch a demonstration by a human or another dolphin and then reproduce it minutes or even days later, even for novel arbitrary actions they've never been trained on. For example, in studies at the Dolphin Research Center and Kewalo Basin Marine Mammal Lab, dolphins watched trainers do things like spin in place and touch a ball with your tail, and then copied it. Cross-species imitation. Dolphins imitate human body movements despite having a completely different body plan, no arms or legs. They map a human raising an arm to themselves raising a pectoral fin, showing abstract representation of the action, not just mimicry. Vocal imitation. Dolphins are vocal learners. They imitate whistles of tank mates and even computer-generated sounds. Vocal mirror systems are thought to be closely linked to motor mirror systems. What's still uncertain? No one has implanted electrodes in a freely behaving dolphin to record single-unit activity while it watches and performs actions, for ethical and practical reasons. So we don't have direct, this neuron fired both when the dolphin did X and saw X proof, as we do in monkeys. Cetacean brains are organized differently from primate brains, e.g. very thin cortex, but huge surface area, different layering. So their mirror system may work similarly in function, but be implemented differently in circuitry. In short, dolphins have the specialized neurons in the right places, and they behave as if they have a robust mirror system, rapid, flexible imitation, perspective-taking in cooperative tasks, and apparent empathy, supporting injured pod members, for instance. Most comparative neuroscientists consider it highly probable they have mirror neurons, even if the direct physiological proof is missing. Why are mirror neurons important for dolphins? If dolphins do indeed possess a mirror neuron system, it would be incredibly valuable for their complex social lives and survival in the wild. Social learning. In a fluid, dynamic environment like the ocean, social learning is crucial. Dolphins need to learn quickly from others, whether it's how to hunt a new prey, navigate a new area, or evade a predator. A mirror neuron system would facilitate this learning by observation. Empathy and group cohesion. Mirror neurons are often linked to our ability to understand and even feel what others are experiencing. For highly social animals like dolphins, understanding the emotional and physical states of their pod members is vital for cooperation, coordinated hunting, and mutual support, like helping an injured dolphin surface to breathe. Culture and tradition. Dolphins exhibit complex cultural behaviors, such as specific hunting techniques, e.g., mud ringing, sponge carrying, that are passed down through generations, not genetically. A robust mirror system would be a key neurological underpinning for the transmission and maintenance of these learned traditions. Communication. While not directly mirror neurons, the capacity for vocal imitation, as seen in their ability to mimic novel sounds and signature whistles, suggests a sophisticated neural system for processing and reproducing actions they perceive. This could be a parallel or integrated system with their motor mirror neurons, enhancing their communication and social bonding. Comparing dolphin and primate mirror systems, it's interesting to note the similarities and differences. Convergent evolution. The presence of spindle neurons in both cetaceans and primates, and elephants, suggests that complex social cognition and the neural machinery that supports it may have evolved independently multiple times. This is called convergent evolution, where different species develop similar traits or mechanisms to solve similar environmental or social challenges. Whole body versus hand-mouth mirroring. In primates, much of the mirror neuron research initially focused on hand and mouth movements. For dolphins, whose primary interactions involve their entire body, tails, and vocalizations, their mirror system would likely be more generalized, covering a broader range of motor and vocal actions. Their incredible ability to imitate whole body movements of humans, even though they have totally different limbs, strongly supports this idea of a highly flexible, abstract mirror system. The role in play and innovation. Dolphins are known for their playful nature and their ability to invent new games and behaviors. A mirror neuron system could be central to this. Learning play. Young dolphins learn complex play behaviors by observing older individuals. Whether it's bow riding, creating bubble rings, or interacting with objects, imitation is a fast track to mastering these social and recreational activities. Behavioral contagion. Have you ever seen a group of kids start doing something silly and then everyone else joins in? This behavioral contagion or emotional contagion is often linked to mirror neuron activity, where observing an action or emotion can trigger a similar response in the observer. In dolphin pods, this could be crucial for quickly coordinating group activities or even spreading novel forms of play. Innovation and spread of new behaviors. When one dolphin discovers a new way to interact with its environment, e.g., using a sponge to forage or a new way to hunt fish, a mirror neuron system would greatly facilitate the rapid transmission of this innovation throughout the pod, or even across generations, contributing to their diverse cultural traditions. Understanding dolphin culture through mirror neurons. The concept of culture in animals refers to behaviors learned and passed down socially rather than being genetically inherited. Dolphins are prime candidates for cultural transmission, and mirror neurons are the perfect mechanism. Regional accents, dialects. Different pods of dolphins, even within the same species, often have distinct dialects of whistles and clicks. A mirror neuron system for vocal learning would allow new members or even individuals temporarily joining a different pod to pick up these vocal nuances, reinforcing group identity and communication efficiency. Specialized hunting techniques. As mentioned, behaviors like sponging, using sponges to protect their snouts while foraging on the seafloor, or mud ring feeding, creating a wall of mud to trap fish, are learned behaviors specific to certain populations. Mirror neurons would enable the observation and replication of these intricate multi-step processes, ensuring the survival of these valuable skills. Problem solving. Dolphins face various challenges in their environment, from finding food in different conditions to navigating complex social dynamics. Observing a peer successfully solve a problem and then being able to replicate that solution is a hallmark of sophisticated intelligence, heavily supported by mirror system functions. Implications for conservation and human-dolphin interactions. If we fully appreciate the role of mirror neurons in dolphin cognition, it has broader implications. Empathy and welfare. Recognizing that dolphins likely possess the neurological machinery for empathy can deepen our understanding of their emotional lives and reinforces the ethical imperative for their welfare and protection. Human-dolphin communication. When trainers work with dolphins, the dolphins often imitate human actions. This suggests that understanding shared actions and intentions, a mirror neuron function, is a foundation for interspecies communication and learning. It highlights why gesture and body language are so effective in training. The evolutionary advantage of a mirror system in dolphins. Consider the environment dolphins live in, acoustic world. Unlike terrestrial animals that rely heavily on sight for social cues, dolphins live in an underwater world where visibility can be limited. Sound is paramount. A mirror system that integrates visual and acoustic perception and action would be incredibly adaptive. If a dolphin hears an action, like a specific foraging click sequence, and its mirror neurons fire, it could accelerate learning and coordination. Fluid societies. Dolphin societies are often described as fission-fusion, meaning groups constantly split and rejoin. In such a dynamic social structure, rapidly assessing and understanding new individuals, learning their strategies, and integrating into their behaviors is critical. A mirror system provides this fast track to social cohesion without extensive trial and error. Predator avoidance, cooperative hunting. When facing a shark or coordinating a fish herding strategy, split-second decisions and understanding of group members' intentions are life-saving. If one dolphin spots a threat or initiates a maneuver, its mirror system firing in others would allow for immediate synchronized responses. Mirror neurons and theory of mind. While direct theory of mind, the ability to attribute mental states, beliefs, intents, desires, emotions, knowledge, to oneself and to others, is often debated, especially in non-human animals. Mirror neurons are considered a foundational component. Action understanding. At its most basic, a mirror system allows an animal to understand what another is doing by mentally simulating the action itself. Intention understanding. Beyond just what, some research suggests mirror neurons can help infer why an action is being performed. If a dolphin sees another approaching a specific part of the seabed, its mirror system might fire not just for the swimming motion, but for the intention to forage, based on past experience. Precursor to empathy. This ability to understand actions and intentions is a strong candidate for the neural basis of empathy. If I can simulate your actions and intentions in my own brain, it's a short step to simulating your emotional state. This embodied simulation hypothesis is a major theory in human social cognition, and it's highly plausible for dolphins given their complex social bonds. Implications for our definition of intelligence. The study of dolphin mirror neuron systems, or analogous functions, pushes us to broaden our understanding of intelligence. Beyond primate-centric views, for a long time, intelligence was heavily viewed through a primate-centric lens, focusing on tool use, manual dexterity, and complex problem-solving in a terrestrial environment. Dolphins challenge this, demonstrating high cognitive abilities in a vastly different sensory and physical world. Social intelligence as a core component. The emphasis on imitation, social learning, empathy, and cultural transmission in dolphins underscores that social intelligence, the ability to navigate complex social landscapes, is a profound form of intelligence, and mirror neurons are key players in it. Future research. The fact that direct neural recordings are so difficult encourages innovative research methods, combining advanced imaging techniques, if ethical and practical for cetaceans, computational modeling of their neural networks, and increasingly sophisticated behavioral experiments. Thank you for listening to Dolphin Tape 004, Dolphins, Ramachandran, and Mirror Neurons. If you want more information, go to www.speakdolphin.com or contact me at speakdolphin@mac.com. Let's keep learning together. Jack Kasowitz.